top looking like special.
It's week 4 of the National Football League, and we'll see the Broncos' towering tight end. It was a nice line for him a week ago, reaching the century mark and scoring a touchdown. It's the Broncos and the Jets on Thursday night.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight, it's on to Week 4 as we've got a good Thursday night matchup in store between the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos. Brendan Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Jets coming into play. It's a relatively balanced offense. The next-gen stats kind of bear that out. What do you think they'll be looking to do in this one?
I think it'll be exactly what you just talked about. They'll want to be balanced on offense, which means to them, they'll want everyone involved. See if they can get some one-on-ones in the passing game. Maybe identify some situation where they can swing the ball to the backs in space. Even find some spots where they just want to play some old-fashioned power football. As one of the most successful coaches in the league told us once, the definition of balanced offense, that means you can do what you want when you want to, not necessarily just running it 50% of the time and throw.
we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers. Because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Now Hall to start the drive. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give them 15 yards to start their first drive of the game. Good sign here early. Everybody on offense there up front in the backfield in sync on that play.
So much talk about what do you do to neutralize home field advantage? Well, teams that run the football effectively, they often have a way of neutralizing it in a big way when they have those types of runs.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Boy, nearly intercepted right away. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On second down, a run with Hall. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. This defense for the Broncos, they were strong last week, CD, and that win over New England.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
The Jets at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season, and they fell in the opener. Got back on the beam with a win in week 2, but stumbled again last week to fall under 500.
And despite that stumble, I don't think anyone's too concerned because they've made mistakes that they believe are correctable. And this is a team still getting to know each other. I'm not that concerned, and neither are they.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. To throw is Rodgers. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now a stoppage, and we've got Chubb shaken up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. On 1st down, right back to Hall. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That is caught by Mims. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. On the counter, it's Hall. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Rodgers. Touchdown! C.J. Uzomah, his third touchdown now on the year. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed, and this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently, but whatever they said appears to have worked. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a Jet touchdown. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Ball on a give up the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Rodgers. And the timing a bit off that time as Edward falls to the ground.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing in too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And he's playing at a very high level here in this early part of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in passing yards. Now, that's not always an indicator of success, but in his case, it is.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 26. They go play action now. Wilson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
The first carry now. This is Williams. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing and run support and tackling the runner for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Wilson. This will be caught. Judy. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Wilson. Looking deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Jets take it over again. Breece Hall making his way out with the offense. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. 53 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Rodgers. Open man is Uzama. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 touchdowns for him already in this first half. This one good for a first down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want him to catch the football first.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
All again on 2nd down.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. And nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Now Wilson on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
Well, partners, the first quarter, too early to start talking about needing a comeback. They're down 2 touchdowns already, and that sack, that disrupts this drive. They need something to go right on offense, and they need it to happen soon.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Wilson. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Jets are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Straight ahead is Hall. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Now it's Rodgers. He's got it. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. Charles, Thursday night game. I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? So who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll look to run with Hall. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy lift coming from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now the Jets will call on a field goal unit here. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And this one is right through. And that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter.
Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, being the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
This one taken just inside the 10. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 7 catches, 106 yardage-wise, and the score as well.
When you turn in good, consistent performances each and every week, you will rank in the top 10 in the league in receiving yards, and he's number 7 currently, hoping to move up as time goes on.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Trying to find some space to turn upfield, but this defense having none of it.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 37. Here's Wilson.
He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
A 1st carry for Kenyon Drake. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
I really like what he did there, because he took his practice work and converted it to game action, because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Drake. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. 17-0 our score after 1. and the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it online and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series.
It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line.
70 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
From the 22, Rodgers got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. 2 touchdowns for him already in this first half. This one good for a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
A handoff for Hall.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough again.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
Set to take over, the Broncos offense trots back out.
It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Wilson down around his goal line. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10.
The Jets take it over again. Breece Hall making his way out with the offense.
He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Rodgers going to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Targeting Moore, and he's got him on the crossing pattern.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here's a give to Hall.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that.
Touchdown, Jets! Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And the Jets have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it was finished off by Elijah Moore on the touchdown reception.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson.
That's complete. It's Okuwebunam.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now it's Wilson.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick six.
Now for the point after. And that'll increase their lead to 28. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt, Charles, with that pick six.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
This is Hamler on the receiving end. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one.
We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Wilson.
He'll get that complete to Alberto.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They give it to Williams, running right. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. The toss to the wide side. This is Williams. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
Now it's Wilson. And he wisely will throw that one away. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10.
Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series.
He's in his own 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's the 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Rodgers.
He's got this one completed to Mims.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll run with Hall.
A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll go again with Hall. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Throwing on 2nd down. Rodgers caught. It's Wilson. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 45-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
A give running right is Hall. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 92 yards rushing for him now to this point. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Throwing is Rodgers. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall. He'll get it inside the 20. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a 1st. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. On 1st down, right back to Hall. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to add on to their 1st half lead. Boy, I mean, at this point, what more do we say here? I got nothing.
And you know, so many people talk all the time about having announcer-less games, and they want that. This could be a candidate for it, because if we stay here and do this, we're going to have a lot to fill in the 2nd half.
There's still another half. Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this 1st half. A 10-play drive that time. And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Denver's offense ready to go again. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their 25-yard line. Wilson's throw taken in here by Patrick. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. 2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a man open down the middle of the field, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. His throw incomplete. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 42. Throwing is Wilson. This pass caught by Hamler. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
First and goal at the 8-yard line.
This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Here's Wilson to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. Now Wilson. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Jeudy from 8 yards out. And the Broncos get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off by the touchdown run from Jerry Jeudy. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. From the 6. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The Jets take it over again. Breece Hall making his way out with the offense. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here.
Quickly into the hands of Mims.
7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. Some great games coming up on Sunday, highlighted by a 1 o'clock matchup in Miami. A good test for the Dolphins as they'll square off against the LA Chargers. In the late afternoon games, all eyes will be on Las Vegas. A glitzy matchup there, where it'll be the Raiders taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. And lastly, we'll all be tuned in on Monday night for what should be a great one between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. On now to a look at the next-gen stats for the Jets in that first half. And a big reason why they have this big lead, the running game. They're over 100 yards as a team, and it's been the catalyst for this offense. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach. Something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. Taking it about the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bronco offense ready to begin this third quarter of play. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right?
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time.
Picked off by Brandon Eccles. That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Give to Hall running right. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings us 2nd and 9.
Here's Rodgers to throw. This is caught. Touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Now the try here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. They have the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And coming out now, the Broncos. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Wilson. Pass complete to Judy on the out route. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Well, a lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here into the hands of the receiver, Judy. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. To throw again is Wilson. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 23. Here's Wilson. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Jets are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Well, it certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
So here are the Jets now to take over. They've got the lead here as they start out 1st and 10, trying to erase the memory of the loss last week. That came at the hands of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now Hall to start the drive. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. That is caught. It's Uzomah. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll give to Hall. And he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
143 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. He came into this game within shouting distance of Dan Marino at 61,361 career yards. And with that last play, Charles, he just went past Dan Marino.
I'm struggling over here. And the only reason is when you hear about him passing a Dan Marino,
a legend,
makes you step back and really take stock of his career. And you realize it's not just about the numbers. It's about the accomplishments. It's about the play. How great has his career been to pass Dan Marino's? I'd say pretty darn great.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Straight ahead is Hall. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 1st down, Rodgers. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Hall ought to give up the middle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That good for 19 and a first down. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
They'll run with Hall. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Rodgers now to throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5. That's a whale of a game. He lost 2, and it brings up 4.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
And his kick is right there. It's good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Denver's offense now set to go. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Here's 2nd and a yard. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And a loose football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
The previous play is under review.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose, and is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is
overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. From the 44, Wilson. He dumps it off to Drake. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
To throw is Wilson. He'll get this to Hamler over the middle. And he will have a Broncos first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Now it's Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Patrick. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Wilson. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 29-yard line. Here's Wilson. He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A big play that time on the catch and run. And the Broncos are going to have a new set of downs.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field. And just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Now it's Wilson. And it's caught. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Okay, interception last drive. There he hits the reload. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Javonte Williams taking it in from a yard out. And the Broncos are able to at least get one score back. McManus's point after is good. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series. He's closing in on 200 yards on the ground with the 4th quarter still to come. We're in the 3rd. Good shot to get there.
And now he's got to make sure he convinces his coaching staff to leave him out there and keep touching the ball, because when you've had that kind of a day, there is a tendency to think about getting him out and saving some of it. Running backs never like to save yardage.
You know he's tapping his quarterback on the shoulder. I'll take the ball again, please, right?
Not turning down any carries.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Rodgers going to throw. Open man is Uzomah. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
A handoff for Hall.
He finds some open, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays.
And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now Wilson on first down.
Over the middle, complete to Judy. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Now, fourth quarter is certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to bring up second down.
It's showtime, baby. Alert, 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 alert.
Throwing is Wilson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Buying time to... Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down.
This will be caught. Judy.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10.
Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. Now Wilson. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Williams trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Williams again, but he will lose yardage here as they knock him back to the 3.
Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
This Jet defense so far standing tall. They need another stop now, 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver.
Albert O from 3 yards out. And the Broncos get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. From the 6. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Jets taking over again. Breece Hall making his way out with the offense.
He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or two.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward. Ball again on 2nd down.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. The Jets on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Here's Hall again. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Here's a give to Hall. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos. At the 20. Wilson. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. That's caught left side by Judy. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there,
Well, this game well in hand. Perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Back to throw. Wilson.
That's going to be caught by Judy. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard
line. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Wilson.
Got a man complete. It's Hamler.
And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Looking to throw. Wilson. And he's got it. Touchdown, Broncos. Tim Patrick, a 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Broncos are able to cut into that deficit. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead's down to 24. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Jets have got it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now Hall. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be down close to the 1st down marker as he gets this to the Broncos 37. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here.
They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll run with Hall. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Now the Jets will call on a field goal unit here. From the left hash, this from 39. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
And the focus shifts back to Jerry Jeudy and his Bronco teammates.
Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the shotgun, Wilson.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. To throw again is Wilson. Looking sideline, and he's going to have his man as he was able to walk the tightrope there for the completion.
2nd down and 8.
Now Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
Throwing again here, Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost
lose the football. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
One last shot for Wilson. One last shot at the end zone.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that, but that would have been a big play. But he could not pull it in.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. It says, guys, if we do this, this, and this,